Okay guys, this is my video on how to change out the toilet part that's pretty much common for leaks on most about everybody's. Uh, Basically I have a 2009 171 rpod. What you're going to need is you're going to need your instructions. You're going to need a small pair of channel locks, or I like these little pair of pliers because they have short handles on them. It's nice when you work around, you can actually get a full clearance. A screwdriver, you'll need a flathead and a Phillips. I have interchangeable heads, but whatever you want to use. You will also need a wrench. These are for the bolts, and this is going to be a 1/2 inch. So you'll need that too. And of course then your part for your toilet. So alright, let's get started. Okay guys, this is going to be my tutorial video on how to swap out the part for the toilet. As you can tell, I got my piece here. The main thing that everybody's having problems with is leaking. Usually about around here. So that's why you replace it with this part here. So once you get your kit, we're going to start it off with, you're going to have, we're going to have 2 bolts on each side. And basically what you're going to do, see if I can focus here, there's going to be these little nuts right here that you need to take off first. Okay, so these are caps. You're going to take them off first. You pull them up. Alright, once you get them up, it's going to have a little groove right there. And you're basically just going to pull. I point it towards the toilet. That's just me though. And then you're going to pull and take it off. Okay. So that's what the cap looks like. So you're going to take that off. And then once you get there, you're going to have your bolt. You don't have to use a socket wrench. I don't think you should. It's not going to be hard to take these things out. You basically give it one turn to break the nut, and that's it. You turn it, break your nut, and you pretty much just do it by hand. I'm sorry the video's shaky. It's my iPhone. I'm trying to do this one-handed. So, alright. Once your nut's removed, go ahead and do the other side. Okay, so basically the next step is you're going to rock this thing back and forth, and it's going to come off the seal. So I like to loosen it up first so I can get behind here. And then let me get a better shot. Now it's going to start smelling. You're going to smell your tanks right away. But you're basically got your water line coming up, and you're going to have to unscrew this here. Okay? So take you good pliers and go to town here. Alright? Okay, so once you break this joker loose, it's going to start pulling water out for any water that you got built up. It's alright because it's a wet bath, right? About really 5 to 6 turns is going to get this thing where it's going to be able to hand turn. You're going to have a lot of water coming out. I thought. I'm going to go ahead and flush the toilet, get some of the pressure off of it. And you may want to do this beforehand. More pressure on that line than what I thought. Yeah, I just want to keep it held down until I start seeing the pressure die. lot of pressure left. Guess I should have done that beforehand. Alright, so we got her thing off, and boy, she's still bubbling water. That's okay. That's why we got a wet bath, right? Make sure that washer in here doesn't float out. It shouldn't, but make sure it don't. Okay, so basically, we got the pipe removed. All the water has finally stopped. Of course, it's just rolling into the shower. I just set the commode off right now. And then actually, I'm going to turn it towards me so I can get to the parts. If you're having a lot of bad smell coming out of here, I suggest go ahead and lay like a piece of plastic, a trash bag over it. You can't take the smell. I can. It don't bother me. We haven't used that how much. You're going to be replacing this seal that comes with a kit later. So let's get our kit out. So in your kit, you're going to have your seal. You'll use that dead last, and then your part that you're going to replace. All right. And this is the part that was leaking, so that's what will screw back in the pipe. Okay, the first step is to get your instructions out, and you should have read this way before you did any of it. But you got a nice diagram right there to show you anything you need to know. But the first thing you need to do is take this screw out right here. Okay. Take the screw out, lay it over here with your bolts. Okay, so we got it off. We got the toilet sitting on the floor. We got, the next step is to replace this thing. We got our screw out here. So the next thing we need to do is underneath this thing, trying my best to get an angle at, you'll see a tab. This tab has to come up. Okay? I'm sorry for the blurriness. It's got to come up. That's the tab. Once you release it, you're going to be able to pull this daddy out a little bit. It's not going to be locked in anymore. Now here's the key. You can't force this thing because this pin right here, let me get the part so I can show you. This part has got this right here on it. And see, apologize on one-handed. It's going to take this little hook, and it's down in like that right there. So it's going to be a little harder to remove. I'm going to go ahead and try, not force it hard, but go ahead and pull it out. Force it completely away from the tray. Alright, so we're loose. The only thing that's holding us on is this guy here. Now, you don't want to bend the rod, which don't matter, this is the other one, but you want to bring it, you want to kind of bring it up like this right here. Okay? Once you do, what I suggest is pushing back the handle to get it away. Like that right there. And then lift up. It's going to be hard for me to do this one-handed, so bear with me. So you're going to bring this out, push this in, you're going to pull up. Boom goes dynamite. Release the switch. Okay guys, so we got our flushing unit out. We still got to get this pipe undone. So you need to be very careful. Get you a little small flathead screwdriver. And you're going to wedge this thing off. Okay? Let's see if I can get us a good spot. Take this screwdriver. You're just going to slowly push. Don't do it hard. You don't force it. And you get it over this little lip. And you kind of just work it around. You tear this hose, you're going to wind up placing the whole hose. So you don't want to do that. I get it up under there. I pull. When I pull this, it's going to start to come to the lip and it's going to pop off. See? all you gotta do, don't worry about losing the little plastic ring. Just make sure it's not in this tube, because it's no big deal. The new part has its own ring, so that's not that big of a deal, really. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and say you got to do to put the new part, this is our new part, and I want to show you something. A lot of people don't know this, but this is why it goes bad with your part here. This guy right here starts springing a leak. There was a crack right here, but I used PVC putty and tried to cover it up without replacing the part. It held for about 4 hours and it busted on through again. But it gets a small crack right here. So that's what you're replacing, but to replace it, you got to replace the whole unit. If you'll notice on this one, they've changed it with a thicker plastic, so it shouldn't do it again. If it does, it'll take a long time. So first thing we want to do is we want to put our pipe back. You just want to kind of push it, wiggle it back and forth. It'll go over that lip. Oh, see, now you got to watch that seal. That seal will roll off. You don't want that. So I'm going to sit here and twist it like that right there. You don't have to put a whole lot of pressure on it, just to get it over that lip. Actually, almost on it. You can kind of pinch the pipe a little. It's like a plexus, like a straw. It'll go back into shape, as you can see. The main thing is make sure there's a little lip. You want to make sure it's over this. That's your main thing. That way it won't pop it off. You can give it a little pull, and you'll notice it won't pop back off. So you're good there. All right, let me spin this toilet a little closer to you. So the next step is we do like we did before, but backwards. We put in our wire first. It'll fall pretty easy in there. Once it falls in there, you'll have your handle back working again. Let's see if you guys can see that. Okay, so the next step, we got our bar in here, we got our hose attached, so now we got to get this track back in there. So we're going to line it back up. It'll give you a little resistance because you got the bar and the hose lined up in it, but that's okay, no worries. Get that corner, and all I do is get the corner right there, and it'll start. Then you can kind of put a little pressure on it. And it'll slide right now. Push this way, it'll just slide right back on track. Now don't forget your tab. You have to lift up a little, and boom, it'll snap right on in. Okay. So right now, our unit's in place. Alright, so the only thing to do now is put our screw back in. Alright, so putting our screw back on. This is just to hold it. Give it a little turn, make it tight, not over torque it. You can tear this plastic here and you're going to be doing this thing all over again. So I like to grab my switch or my handle, make sure everything moves. Looks good to me. Cool beans. Alrighty, so the next thing, the hose is not kinked up. That looks good. We're in a good position. Alright, good deal. Alright, so now we have to attach this back up to the hose. But before we can do that, we got to replace our seal. Alright, so we got to get our seal. This guy's going to be in here. It's been keeping a lot of pressure on it, so you pretty much have to rip it up. She's going to tear. You're going to try to tear it as much as you can without leaving pieces in there. Okay? And as you can tell, I got a couple pieces still in there. So you can use something like a scraper or maybe a flathead screwdriver and only get the seal part. Do not try to scrape the black stuff off. That'll be bad. And don't throw the pieces down here. It's just stupid and ignorant. You're going to want to have to get it out of your tank after that. I'm not really sure how long these seals actually are good for. I know they will stay for a while. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to flip your toilet underneath itself or on the side. And you're going to take this ring, the new seal, this side out, and you're going to put it right here. Alright. Push it down, make sure it's all the way down against the back seat of the toilet. Either germaphobe or feces phobe or whatever you call it. This is probably where you might want to use some gloves. But like I said, we really haven't even used this, so I know it's clean. Alright, so she's good, snug. Alright, now we need to put her back on there. Okay, so we got the new seal on there. I got the toilet, it's not bolted down yet. It's going to have some play in it, and it will until you tighten up your nuts here. That's what's going to seal it for good. Basically, when I pick it up on both sides, I fill the holes underneath and the nuts, and I kind of use that to guide it because these bolts will move. Okay guys, I've got the toilet back on there pretty tightly. I use my, it's a lot easier if you use one of these, my half inch that is. I use this side here because it's going to be kind of hard on that other side. Remember, righty tighty, lefty loosey, so you can get around. You need to do a little bit on this side, get it snug, a little bit on this side, get it snug, and keep swapping it back and forth and doing it evenly. That way it helps push that seal down evenly, and it'll cause it not to leak. It'll be a fresh seal. So you want to get it pretty snug. You know, you don't want to over tighten it because you'll crack the plastic. So that'll take care of that. And the next thing is hooking the water. Alright, so I'll take our hose, make sure our seal's in there, our washer, sorry. And then you'll have a little play, but not a lot. It's just going to be the hardest part, is getting it started. And don't cross thread this thing, whatever you do. Once it gets started, you just want to kind of hand tighten it until you can't hand tighten it no more. Alright, can't hand tighten it anymore whatsoever. So, sorry. Like I said, I'm videotaping this for you guys, and doing it one hand is a little rough. So, also, you know, if you really can't see what you're doing, you can always use a mirror, a hand mirror, and point it towards the back of this thing. That way, you can kind of see what's going on. You're not going to have a lot of play with this, so you'll have to probably just turn a little bit at a time, depending on what kind of tools you have. I like these little wrenches. They're perfect because they got little handles on it. That way I can get a full turn. Don't over tighten it. That's probably about good. Alright. So probably about good. Yep. Alright. So we got our water attached. Yippee. Everything looks good. Unit's still in place. Next thing, let's turn on the water pump. Let it build up some pressure. Sorry, you probably can't hear my water pump. I got my fan on because this is really hot in here. I didn't turn the air on. Alright. Uh-oh, I hear water coming through. We're probably hear a little bit of air. No biggie. You know, just watch it. But if you don't have anything squirting out of it yet, you're good to go. So, I'm sorry about my poor video, but I have to do this one-handed. But that's pretty much how you place your toilet. So, now all you got to do is clean up, call it a day. You can also, if you don't have any water in the tank, you can hook up the city water and turn it on. That'll tell you right away if it's going to have a leak or anything. You can actually hook up some city water to it and just let the pressure stay on it for a while if you really don't think it's going to hold. But that seal, once you tighten it, it's pretty much got you. Alright, well, if you have any questions or anything, just send me an email or send me a message and let me know. Thanks.